On the news this morning, gunmen kidnapped 2 people in Bonny. House of Representatives steps down PIB. Rowdy session at National Assembly over electoral bill. Federal government declares Tuesday, Wednesday public holiday. On the foreign scene, German Chancellor Angela Merkel pledges full support for victims of some countries' worst flooding in decades. I am Ifiemi Andrew. Gunmen have kidnapped 2 persons in Bonny local government area of Rivers State. They were kidnapped from an event center in Abalamabie community in Bonny on Sunday. A stakeholder in Bonny, Olam Olwell Brown, who confirmed this, gave the names of the victims as Dennis Ezekiel Hart and Maclean Akwe. In a statement, Mr. Olwell Brown said the incident is worrisome as 5 other Bonny residents kidnapped since September 12, 2020 remain in captivity, despite calls by government and other relevant agencies to their abductors to release them. He called on government and security agencies to ensure that the 7 abducted Bonny residents are released. They also asked the government to provide security in Bonny Kingdom, her satellite communities, and on her waterways. A 20-year-old lady has accused the Port Harcourt pastor of rape and harassment. She said the pastor, Titus Daniel, who is also the general overseer of a church in Dio, Port Harcourt, conspired with his personal assistant, Miss Favor, and another lady to rape her.
The old lady and this same girl, Favor, and Pastor Titi Daniel, they are the only 3 people that I saw there. Pastor Titi Daniel locked the door. He was the one that also hid the television volume of the light. The Favor and that same woman hold me before the Pastor Titi Daniel and I raped me in that same room. Which after everything, they bring out a black substance and gave it to me that I should swear that whatever that happened in this place today, that I should not ever reveal it to any person.
The 20-year-old lady who protested at the front of the church last Sunday said she was forced to take an oath with a substance subjected to be juju to keep the matter secret. In the meantime, a lawyer, Festus Bowen, with human rights advocacy group Center for Basic Rights Protection and Accountability Campaign, told our correspondent that the group petitioned the Commissioner of Police in Rivers State Ebuka Friday upon receiving a report from the 20-year-old girl.
We are simply asking for thorough investigation into the alleged rape and continuous sexual assault on the 20-year-old girl. And if anybody is found culpable, it should simply be tried in accordance with the law. At this critical time in the life of the 20-year-old girl, we are also asking the police to provide adequate security because there are threats from quarters as to her life and all that. So we are asking for protection of her life and actually for thorough investigation.
Meanwhile, the pastor, named as Titus Daniel, is yet to reply to messages sent to his phone, but a woman picked his call and described the allegation as a blackmail. Moving on, Senate has approved the conditional electronic transmission of electoral results. Senators yesterday voted publicly along party lines over Section 52, Subsection 3 of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, which deals with electronic transmission of poll results. At the end of voting, 28 senators, mostly from the PDP, voted for the original amendment in the report, while 52 senators, mostly from the APC, voted for the amendment as proposed by Senator Sabi Abdullahi.
And the amendment, please, for the avoidance of doubt, the way it is written here is the Commission may transmit results of elections by electronic means where and when practicable. This is the amendment. So if you don't want it, I will put the question now. Those in favor that clause 52.3 as amended by Senator Basi Akpan, say aye. Those against say nay. The nays have it.
This means the majority of senators voted that INEC may consider electronic transmission provided the national network coverage is pronounced adequate and secure by NCC and approved by the National Assembly. In the House of Representatives, the Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila adjourned plenary till today when Chairman of INEC Mahmoud Yakubu and Executive Secretary of the NCC Umar Dambata will brief the chamber on the implication of having election results transmitted electronically. The clause caused a division in the House, with the lawmakers divided along regional lines, causing rowdiness in the chamber for several hours, during which several lawmakers engaged themselves in a shouting match. Several members of the House from the South insisted on electronic transaction of results. Here is the Speaker of the House of Representatives.
When he said that you had already ruled on this matter, let me pose it, or let me say clearly that you have not ruled on this matter. The ruling or the amendment by Honorable Toby was for electronic transmission, period. And you put the question. The amendment by Honorable Faleke is a different amendment. That question has not been put. The amendment by Honorable Faleke is for electric and manual. So that's a totally different question, which by our procedure, that question must be put.
In the meantime, the House of Representatives have stepped down the controversial petroleum industry bill after an hour-long closed-door session. Further deliberation is expected to hold over the decision while the House is on recess. Earlier, lawmakers from the South had opposed the harmonized PIB allocation to host communities, which was pegged at 3%. The lawmakers were heard chanting 5% as against the 3% at the floor of the House. However, in the Senate, the 3% allocation to host communities was adopted despite protest by two South governors George Sekibo and Sarah K. Dixon. But Senate President Ahmed Lawan replied that the Senate has taken a resolution on the matter and could not go back on its decision. He appealed to Senator Dixon to back down on his threat to lead his colleagues to stage a walkout.
Our people, the people we represent here, definitely sometimes will not understand the kind of role we have played. I am sensitive to all these things. And if there is any other distinguished senator who is thinking the same way, that this is the way democracy works. And I will appeal to you not to live like you did before, because there are other things that you need to participate. But if you walk away, it's like you have lost it. So I appeal to all of us that we have to go forward. We are finished with this, and we take the report of our committee.
The federal government has declared Tuesday and Wednesday next week as public holidays to mark this year's Eid al-Kabir celebration. The Minister of Interior, Ralph Aragbeshola, in a statement, congratulated all Muslim faithfuls and Nigerians at home and the diaspora on this occasion. Aragbeshola assured that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is committed to the security of lives and property of every Nigerian and adequate security in schools. Still ahead, President Buhari visits Kanu. Stay tuned. The federal government has inaugurated the reconstituted Russia-Nigeria Joint Coordination Committee (JCC) on national atomic energy. Secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, while performing the inauguration on Thursday in Abuja, said the aim of reconstituting the JCC was to resuscitate the relationship between both countries for the peaceful use of nuclear energy. Mustafa was represented by Dr. Habib Alawal, the Permanent Secretary, Ecological Fund Office in the SGF's office. The Asari Toru Local Government Council has issued a 48-hour ultimatum to a social-political pressure group, Network for the Defense of Democracy and Good Governance (NDDGG), to retract its statement against the chairman of Asari Toru Council in a viral video on social media. Chief Press Secretary to Asari Toru Local Government Council, John Paul Braid, at a media briefing said the response became necessary in view of the risk and danger of allowing misinformation to flourish.
Asari Toru Local Government Council has issued a 48-hour ultimatum to Network for the Defense of Democracy and Good Governance to retract its statement in a viral video on social media about an alleged uncovered plot to assassinate its leader, Solomon Jakrit, whereas it mentioned the Asari Toru Local Government Council chairman and its Agricultural Local Government area counterpart as official marksmen for the imagery assassination plot at the behest of highly placed persons in Rivers State. Our response has thus become quite necessary in view of the risk that the danger of allowing misinformation or blunted falsehood to stand and flourish is the irreparable harm it does to society. The group and its leader, Egberi Papa, are passionate, attention-seeking band, having been known as one of such entities in the state blamed by the developmental strides of the Governor Nyesom Wike-led administration.
Mr. Braid also said the NDDGG's outburst is coming after the executive chairman of Asari Toru Local Government Area, Onengiofori George, declared zero tolerance for criminality in the area.
Interestingly, the NDDGG's outburst is coming just at the ease of the declaration of zero tolerance for criminality in Asaga by the executive chairman of Asari Toru Local Government Area, Honorable Onengiofori George, who promised not to spare perpetrators of crime in Asaga, with the agencies in the area put on red alerts. This is apparently a warning signal to the NDDG and its leader, Egberi Papa, that Asaga may not be conducive ground for its political misadventure and farcical anti-government activities.
The Chief Press Secretary of Asari Toru Council, John Paul Braid, also said that the council will institute legal action against NDDGG if it fails to retract such malicious statement against Onengiofori George upon the expiration of 48 hours.
On this note, the Asari Toru Local Government Council has issued this 48 hours ultimatum to NDDGG to retract its libelous statement on the person and character of our executive chairman, Honorable Onengiofori George, or be ready to face legal actions.
As you may know, NDDGG had in a viral video on social media said it has uncovered plots by the executive chairman of Asari Toru, Akukutore, and other government officials to assassinate its leader, Solomon Jakrit. Agro-industrial company SIAT Nigeria Limited says it will continue to partner with its host communities to boost human capital development through education. The managing director of SIAT Nigeria Limited, Felix Onwabugu, stated this during an award ceremony for recipients of its undergraduate scholarship program. Mr. Onwabugu said the program is one of the company's corporate social responsibility aimed at providing opportunities for indigent students of its host communities.
I congratulate the successful awardees today. As we did in 2016 and we are doing another round today, certainly this will not be the end of scholarship awards by SIAT Nigeria Limited. All we ask is that as representatives and beneficiaries, go out there, be of good behavior, be very good ambassadors, and come home with academic excellence, so that you too can put your efforts into the society, and collectively we can make our environment, our society, what we want it to be for the benefit of the generation that is yet to come.
A beneficiary, Okbara Michael, who spoke on behalf of others, thanked the company for such a gesture and promised to put in their best to be good ambassadors of their various communities and the company.
The exam was conducted in this exercise and some of you succeeded. There are people out there that could not succeed. Maybe next time they will double their effort in order for them to also be part of what we are doing today. I also want to use this medium to congratulate all those who benefited from the previous skill and today they are graduates. think they are useful to the society. And that is why we continue to encourage SNL to continue in this guest to ensure that our people are educated, because after educating them, some of them can also be useful to the company.
The chairman of Ubima and Elele Landlords Association, Prince Nyeche, also spoke at the event.
I've seen a situation where so many people are students, but they could not come out with their certificates because of indulging in one court activity or the other. Do not use this opportunity or do not take it for granted. It's not an easy thing. The company has shown capacity, and the only way you can say thank you to your parents and the landlord association and the company is to ensure that you come out in a flying color. That is when we'll be proud of you people.
This year's undergraduate scholarship has a total number of 15 successful indigent recipients drawn from various tertiary institutions in the Niger Delta. The company awarded its first set of scholarships in 2016.
And now we'll bring you news from around the world.
German Chancellor Angela Merkel has pledged full support for the victims of some of the country's worst flooding in decades. Speaking during a meeting with U.S. President Joe Biden in Washington, D.C., Mrs. Merkel pledged government support with rescue efforts and with reconstruction. Some 15,000 police, soldiers, and emergency service workers are at the scene to aid with search and rescue, while helicopters picked stranded residents from rooftops and tanks cleared roads of fallen trees and debris. Record rainfall in Western Europe caused rivers to burst their banks, devastating the region. At least 59 people have died in Germany, with hundreds more reported missing. On the news this morning, you heard that gunmen have kidnapped 2 people in Boni local government area of Rivers State. The House of Representatives has stepped down the PIB bill. Plenary at the National Assembly yesterday turned rowdy over the electoral bill. The federal government has declared Tuesday and Wednesday public holidays. On the foreign scene, German Chancellor Angela Merkel has pledged full support for victims of some of the country's worst flooding in decades. The news was edited by Martha Okiri. Contact our newsroom in 0818-900-0017. Cloudy weather expected in Port Harcourt this morning. My name is Ifiemi Andrew. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful day.